What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 49 of my Total Warhammer 3 Vlad and Isabella Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, after defeating the Ice Court in battle, we did peace out with them in the hopes of possibly vassalizing them at some point. As to whether this gamble works out or not, it does certainly remain to be seen, and we'll probably find out within the next 10 turns, as that is the limit to when I believe the AI will possibly break the pacts that we've got going with them. We'll see. I'm hoping it works, but you never know. Now, in addition to that, we have destroyed pretty much Clan Scryer. They just have Ikit himself left here, as well as no territories, of course. We are going to have Rudy then destroy Montenas shortly and destroy Morgar's faction as well before moving up north. Somebody also suggested that we try to take Aquitaine for the purpose of possibly giving it to Mousillon, although the problem there is, while I like the idea, I feel like Lewin is going to beat us to it, because Rudy has to go to Montenas, and then to Bilbali, and then all the way there, whereas it does seem that Lewin is going there already. Though maybe he'll move in and attack something else, like the Orcs at Massive Orcal or something, since he has a little army doing that anyway. Who knows? Who knows? It would be ideal if we could trade Mousillon something that they want enough for us to confederate, because a confederation would also give us a border low, which we really want because it's a cash cow. But anyway, I digress. Lots of stuff to do, so let's begin. Vlad, you are going to go in and attack the Temple of Heimkel, though now I'm thinking maybe we want to just auto-resolve Ungrul's stupid little army to death so that they're not here. You're not at war with anybody, right? No, you're not. Alrighty, so let's just declare war on these guys and attack them real quick. Yes. Everybody joins in. Vlad should be able to auto-resolve this just fine, and then heal up the Temple of Heimkel, and oh, these guys are moving in to help. Do we actually want to fight this? I mean, there's a lot of Minotaurs here. They're no threat, mind you. Let me just think, is there a better battle on the horizon, i.e., do we know that a really good battle is coming this episode? Not sure. Not sure. You know what? Let's fight this just in case. I'd love to see the Minotaurs fight a little bit and obviously get destroyed, but just for the fun of it.
It is done!
Somehow I knew he was going to say it is done, but this time I'm going to have to agree. Oh my. Rock coming in from that Cygor. But anyway, this time I'm gonna have to agree. It's not a very big enemy army, and we shouldn't have any trouble in destroying it, especially with Vlad's. On the bright side, we should get a decent amount of use from our Blood Knights here, as they can actually get some combat in, rather than just be on the sidelines waiting to charge the enemy in the back and destroy their vulnerable range units, because really the entire enemy army is pretty vulnerable. Granted, they could suffer a bit fighting the Minotaurs one-on-one, but being anti-large is a pretty decent matchup for them nonetheless. Alrighty, and here we go. We're going to start this off by dropping our vampires on top of the enemy Cygor, which means summoning some zombies, and then Isabella and her handmaidens will be attacking said Cygor. Any second now. As soon as we get a little bit closer, we also got our Blood Knights in already, who are moving around the Cygor as well, and this is the main thing that I wanted here. Vargulfs are in as well, Vlad's coming closer, the carriages and the Claw of Nagash, and now the enemy is surrounded as well, and the vamps are down. Lovely. Alrighty, well, now the enemy is going to have probably a pretty darn bad time. They're debuffed with Soulblight and the Helm of Discord, so all their stats are very much lowered, whereas we, conversely, have the Occam's Mind Raider, Van Hell's Dance Macabre, and Undeath Resurgent. Look at Isabella's stats there. Pretty damn nice. Damn, her melee defense is high, 128, and she hits for 869. Gotta love that, Gotta love that Occam's Mind Razor there. I wonder what Vlad's stats are like. 134, 108, 759. Ironically, he hits a little bit less hard than Isabella, though I think he can pop something else to up that a little bit. Either way, This is looking pretty good. Over on the sidelines, we've also charged the enemy with a couple Blood Knights as well as all of our Vargeists, who are busily slaughtering all those Gores and Ungor raiders. Poor little guys stand absolutely no chance. Really, it's just the Minotaurs that are somewhat threatening in this army, and by somewhat threatening, I certainly don't mean very much, especially when our buffs are considered. 107 melee attack on the Blood Knights with that Staff of Damnation. Damn, I should have used the Staff of Damnation at the same time as Van Hel's Danse Macabre, just to see how high we could get all those stats. Although it's obviously not necessary to do so, as there would probably be a little too much. Better off to use both at different times for longer uptime on the massive increase to melee attack. Anyway, it looks like the enemy beastmen are all either routing or dead, and now the enemy marauders, or rather the enemy Norskins, are arriving onto the field. The enemy have already lost about 1,000 troops. We've also taken a little bit of damage, but I think that's pretty much all to our zombies. No real damage to any of our units, including our Blood Knights, who've been fighting in the thick of things this entire time. Poke away, my friends, poke away. Especially now that you're not worried about being in the center of the battle. And especially now that we have 4 in Vlad's army rather than 2 as we did before. It's a lot more difficult to surround them and kill them like this. Anyway, it looks like the Vargeists have finished up with the Ungors that they were chasing and are now going to join the fray by hitting the enemy Norskins. We've also summoned zombies right in the midst of them, so they're having a difficult time getting the heck out of there. Hey there, Vargulf. And I do believe with that, the battle is just about over. The forest is littered with dead, and the only dead that remain here moving are ours. Let's see, Marauders running, and yeah, okay, that wasn't a very eloquent way to put it. I tried, damn it. I tried, it just didn't work. And I guess with that, we can speed this up. I think the only unit that survived was the Lord, and a couple units of everything else, but the rest of our army is just standing still and looking completely unharmed, judging by their health bars. The Dire Pack are busy chasing their lords, but everybody else should join in, and the battle is over now. There we go. Very, very decisive, but not to worry, there will be at least one more battle in this episode, and just to go into the future a little bit, it's gonna be a good one. Alrighty, there we go. Vlad's army reckon face as usual. A couple of the Dire Pack died, and those were the only 2 losses that we got. Let's take a little bit of cash here once again, and then let's proceed to occupy the Temple of Heimkel after. I do have to wonder whether these guys will reinforce or not, although I do imagine that they won't. Let's give it a try. Actually, they will. Huh, that's kind of stupid. Why would the AI want that? But anyway, auto-resolve this, and we suffer many, many, many more times as much damage here. 16 times as much damage as we suffered fighting that manually, which is pretty obnoxious if you think about it, considering most of the army was destroyed. Alrighty. Wow, there we go. No more Red Horn Tribe, and maybe somebody will like us for the destruction of the Beastmen, as most factions don't tend to like the Beastmen. And for good reason, because the Beastmen just tend to annoy everybody. Also, right, Hamathane Frost. You can declare war on this faction without suffering treachery penalties. No, you can't. That's actually a lie. It's only for, well, it's sort of a lie. It's telling the truth about non-aggression pact and trade agreements, but we pieced out with this faction like 2 turns ago or something, which means that we'd still suffer the reliability penalties for doing that. So that doesn't actually mean anything. So the trespass thing is kind of useless if you just pieced out with them, which is kind of unfair that the AI can take advantage of that. But what can you do? Anyway, I have no idea where this guy is going. Maybe he's trying to find a settlement that's not walled up, and, the moot is kind of in a, yeah, what if he's going all the way to the moot? That'll be annoying. You know what? Let's start annoying him with Ziggy. assuming that he's actually going for our unit or our ally instead of us. Actually, you have a couple heroes nearby, a level 1 and a level 2. And in your army you have a level what? What level is this hero? How are we supposed to tell, damn it? Alright. He's also level 2. So killing this guy wouldn't really do anything. We're probably better off just assaulting a bunch of units, aren't we? Alrighty. Well then, let's do that. Yeah, alright. Assault unit. Let's hope this succeeds. Yeah, there you go. And annoy these guys a little bit. Take about 30 units off those Marauder champions. Honestly, that doesn't feel like it does much, does it? Maybe I should have gone after the Lord instead. Although the Lord is only level 4 as well. Yeah, You have to wonder where they're going. I suppose we shall find out. And now, before we continue, a couple things I want to also address. First of all, in the community tab, for those unaware, there is currently a vote being held for the next campaign, or the next couple of campaigns, rather. So those of you who have not participated and are interested in doing so, please do so. Actually, no, I probably shouldn't say who's ahead right now, but whoever is ahead, or actually the two factions are only ahead by about a dozen votes, so that could change very much right now. Just saying. Anyway, I forgot what other thing I was going to say, so we'll leave that for next time I remember it. You, Roddy, head to Carrick Vlag. Oh, actually, no, I just remembered. Somebody asked what... Okay, you can... Pyrrhic victory? Really, for this? Okay, wait, one second, Roddy, 1 second. Relax, buddy. You're probably not going to get attacked, so you can probably heal up. Somebody asked whether the gifts were pissing off Draika, the gifts to the gifts to Kislev since Draika was at war with them, and it does seem like we have a slight decrease in relationship, but it's not double arrows, so it's not a crazy amount, so hopefully that's okay. Mousillon also doesn't like our elven treaties, but that's not really anything we can do about that. And those seem to be the only factions that really don't like us doing that, and I think as long as we get more wars together with Draika, we should be just fine. So it shouldn't be that concerning. Anyway, I wonder if these guys are gonna attack us. I mean, it's inevitable that they do, but they are pretty weak compared to us. Anyway, we're going to auto-resolve you, suffer quite a bit of damage for it, but I don't imagine it'll matter all that much anyway. And hey, you got that body counter, hit points plus 5%. Okay, now we just need to suffer a few more casualties. We really need to get this with Rod. He could get another 15% hit points. He's already at 11k. I want him to out-HP Kugath. That's what I want. Is it possible? I'm not sure, but another 15% would be a real swell. Gormadny Mountain secured, which is great. You can get... I was about to say marble, but probably the growth for now. We are still going to trade this to these guys, but maybe we leave it for a few turns. Man, 1250? It's a little bit expensive. I'm gonna take a few turns for the gibbets to pay for themselves. You know what? Let's just build gibbets. Let's just build gibbets. If we're going to... I'm gonna upgrade this anyway, just so that it's worth more to our allies. Maybe you can build a charnel pit? I still don't want to waste the money. Let's just build another gibbet so we can make some money out of the province. It's actually generating decent amounts of income, but if we can get a vassalage out of it, then all the better. And what I'm thinking of doing is essentially giving them Frozen Landing and Temple of Heimkel, then building up Carrick Vlag, and presumably they really will want Carrick Vlag after that, which will mean, hopefully, we're able to vassalize them by offering them this territory that, once again, I don't really care for. Alrighty, so that's you and Vlad, who is now, I believe, free to go after Festus. Vlad is done here, at least for now. It'll be Aldous taking care of business. Speaking of Aldous, you are going to go after this guy. Now, will he turn and fight? I don't know, but I'm hoping that he does, especially as there are 4 armies here, and with them all attacking Aldous, that might work out quite nicely for us. I don't know if it will, but it'll be a pretty nice battle if it does. Now, you guys, you're gonna need to level up, especially if we're going to fight shortly. Invocation of Nehek, Curse of Undeath, and definitely raise dead for you. Another point versus another point in Invocation. The secondary point reduces the Winds of Magic cost, whereas the second point here only allows us to Reduce cooldown as well as use Overcast. I don't like using the Overcast. I think it's not worth it. So, yeah, let's go for Invocation of Nahek. Whereas you got 2 points, so you could actually reduce the cost of this. No, it actually just reduces the miscast base chance, which actually doesn't really matter that much. Then it doesn't really matter, does it? Although the extra uses are not bad, but 1 use out of 9, what's the likelihood that we actually reach that many uses? Probably pretty negligible. I say we go Invocation of Nahek and then replenish troops for when you're ready to replenish. And we also should probably give you items if you're gonna fight a bunch of armies at the same time. One of you should get a Rod of Damnation. I believe we should have an extra one at this point. Yes, we do. So that'll be you. All armies, Necros, have to have a Rod of Damnation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, who's the 6th one? 1, Vlad is 2, Rod is 3, Bathilda's 4, Rudy is 5. Who the heck is holding the 6th? Did we give one to Peter? I don't remember giving one to Peter. No, apparently I did. Okay, well, good job, past me.
Yes.
Well done on remembering that. Also, Tech Thief, head to Crooked Fang Fort. Let's see if we can't find some Skaven. And Queek's moving down to the south. Okay, that actually works out really quite nicely because it means you can move out here. Yes. And then if Queek jumps back to Caracade Peaks, then you can kill him, but if he doesn't, you can take the Black Iron Mine as well as Karak Azul. Alright, that really works. Getting closer and closer to Nagashazar, which is our goal. Or, well, one of our goals, I should say. Lovely. Krelk can... maybe I should have tried to assassinate Krelk as well. But oh well. Bathilda, you cannot reach Crooked Fang Fort. Tremendously unfortunate. Alrighty, then you are going to go into Encamp Stance. If this wasn't all attrition-y, I would probably put her... Oh, wait, you can't go into Encamp Stance, can you? Alright, fine, Raiding Stance. Even in Raiding Stance, it'll be fine. It's not like Queek can kill you with his army. And then you'll head to Crooked Fang Fort after... Oh, I didn't realize it was a Tier 5 settlement. Nice. The only thing is that we're getting closer and closer to the Tzeentchen faction, which I really want to avoid, but... Well, we'll have to deal with it. Alrighty, Rudy. You're next. Go to Montanas. Montanas? I don't know. And then all this will need to be upgraded, but we'll see where we want to spend our money after this. This should be auto-result. Really close victory against this garbage. We already fought Morger. Do we need to fight this again? Honestly, we fought him with a decent stack, not last episode, but previously, with this army hurt, and he still wasn't any kind of threat. I don't really see the need to fight this. I think we could just auto-resolve it. And look for better battles. At least more difficult battles. And goodbye, Morger. And, oh, you know what? I should have actually fought that just to reduce the, casualties, but oh well. Occupy the place. War Herd of the Shadow gave destroyed. And Bilbali is the next on... Oh, wow. Wait, what? We took that at Tier 3? How did we take it at Tier 3? I was not aware that that was possible. Interesting. Interesting, but I was not aware that that was possible. Charnel Pit and a Gibbet so that we can grow Bilbali. And then while we're here, we might as well level up this place. Definitely the Iron Mining Pit, and then Nuka, you can definitely get an upgrade so we can get spices. No Gibbet then, but we are making decent amounts of money from trade, so we do probably want the spices over a single Gibbet. And then we'll have to get rid of this Charnel Pit for a wall and a Gibbet as well. Not that that'll matter all that much. Also, Miragliano, you get a port. And actually, before I forget, take a quick look at Quick Deal. And what I wanted to see was if we take a look at, let's say, Vress, which are pretty weak right now. Yeah, they won't non-aggress for money, unfortunately. What about Tyrannoc? They're even weaker. They will non-aggress for money. You know what? I think we do this. I know it's a crazy amount to pay for just a non-aggression pack with a garbage little faction that is one settlement, but the thing is, all of their allies will like us more for doing this, and that'll mean easier alliances with them, so I think it'll be worth it at the end. We gotta keep playing the diplomatic game, after all. There we go. Looks good to me. And now, Wurzag still has to be dealt with, and maybe we can have Zoltathios deal with him. In fact, wait, can we just tell you to attack this? Huh, wait, can we tell you to attack... You're not at war with these guys, are you? Oh, they are at war with them. They're gonna go for Griffinwood. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Can Griffinwood defend itself? I am not sure. These guys reach it in one turn. They should suffer at least one more turn of attrition, and maybe we'll assault units some more. Okay, well that ain't so good. But they have no armies near there. Well, either way, I guess we tell Zoltathios to try to go after Wurzag here. Yeah, I hadn't considered that, and now I am somewhat regretting it. But what can you do? Alrighty, who else needs to move? Maldwin. Yeah, so you're gonna go and grab Carrick Bufdar and then delete yourself because you're only a temporary lord, unless Wurzag jumps to Verdanos, in which case you'll go kill Wurzag and then delete yourself afterwards. You, Tech Thief, can do nothing, so you're gonna move out. You can't steal tech because there are no settlements here. In fact, we're going to have to send you to Nakari, up north. Hopefully Nakari doesn't die soon, because these guys are gonna like us a lot less when Nakari's gone. I'm actually surprised how well the High Elves are doing, and I'm curious to why that is. As in, why are they doing so well in this particular campaign, rather than getting destroyed by Nakari and the Dark Elves? Maybe Valkia's just destroying the Dark Elves and then they're being non-viable? Who knows? You stay as you are. We'll get you to kill Ikit next turn. Let's now move our assassins and our tech thieves. You are going north. Oh, Renki. Wait, I hadn't moved Renki? Who else have I not moved, damn it? Now we're looking okay here. Alright, assassin, go north. And Renki, you're going after the Desolation of Drakenmoor, which you can do so right now, though it looks like you probably won't be able to immediately. Let's raise you some zombies. And maybe a couple Skelly Spears. Like so. Hopefully that should be sufficient to take the place. With an auto-resolve. What did they have here, by the way? Oh, we might have to siege it. Please don't make me siege this. And I should have turned that off. Okay, Pyrrhic Victory. Some zombies will die. That I think we can live with. And there we go, and in fact, no zombies die. Beautiful. Alrighty, occupy the place, and now the province is ours. Hey, you got the body counter thing too. Oh, damn. Auto-resolve is working. Alrighty, and we can delete you, we can keep the gibbet, and I guess we can upgrade this, although, you know what, it's not super necessary right now. Yeah, you know what, we're better off spending cash here, either Lucchini, or Farafa, or wait. There's a gibbet here to be upgraded, that's probably gonna take priority over anything else. In fact, there may be more gibbets somewhere here to be upgraded. We do need more cash. I do want to get it up to 30k per turn to grow the Empire, as we are now in that stage. Aha! Black Crag, Carricate Peaks, all of these places. Now, you need walls, and we are going to keep you. Gibbets are cheap, though. Himalayas Sorrow, probably going to die, but you know what? Gibbet. And let's go walls at 8 peaks, because I really prefer not to lose it right now, but we'll build the others at Vilayas Sorrow as well. Okie dokie. Now we're good there, and oh, you know what? No, I'm wrong. Cancel the walls, and move the tech thieves, or at least the ones that need to be moved. You are okay for a few more turns yet. Probably just one turn. You can land here, but you can go next turn. You are 4 turns. Getting there. I think one more turn. Tech Thief. 4 turns as well. Okay, well. That's fine then. And then Jacob Bachman. Oh, wait, you're not a hero. Salvatore Posner is a hero. You can still continue to annoy Nakari. Steel Tech here for 47% versus 47%. Are they both equally likely to have us die? No. Alicia is less likely. Go for Alicia then. I wonder what Bellicor is doing. And Salvatore, you failed again, but I think that would still count as a positive from the High Elves' perspective, or at least I hope so. Also, how's our tech doing? We are near to Vampiric Revivification, so we can get the Delusions of Grandeur afterwards, which is going to be a fairly significant upkeep reduction, probably going to get 1,000 or 2,000 gold out of it. Maybe 1,000, probably not 2,000 for only 5%, but we have a fair few of the units affected. Otherwise, I believe we're now ready to go next turn. And wait, do we still have enough money to build those walls that I just cancelled? Oh, we do not. Slightly not enough, though we could build them at Valea's Sorrow, which is what we'll do. Beautiful. Alrighty, skip the rest of this. Commandment available at the Silver Pinnacle. You are going to obviously go Foster Terror. Another commandment available at Carrick Hearn. You are obviously also going to go Foster Terror. And now that's it. Lovely. Alright. Skip. And Ikit, will you attack or will you continue quote-unquote sieging? I really hope that he doesn't attack, because I want Yas to kill him. Alright, come on, ally mobilizes against settlement, that's fine. Krokgar, you are here. You want a trade agreement. Oh, man. You know, that's tempting. The Drake... these guys won't like us, though. We are building reputation with them for attacking Clan Moors, eh? You know what, I'm gonna hold off on this for now. I know that this is an extra 200 money per turn, but if it's possible to vassalize the Vamps here, I would really like Manny to join us. I know nobody's ever said that before, but yeah, let's hold off on this for now, and then these guys' reputation will build with us most likely either way, because we're going to continue attacking Clan Moors, and probably the Exiles of Khorne as well, which means that we'll just be more and more positive with them. Nothing's happening. Hence the silence. Ah, yes, okay, it did work. They will all attack us in a massive horde. Beautiful. Now, this will be a test for Aldous. I did forget how to get him his items, so he's going to be without. The reinforcements are quite a lot. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mammoths to contend with, and plenty of skin wolves, which are pretty good against Blood Knights. This should be an interesting battle, especially as we also lack any Mortis engines in this army, because we were trying to reduce costs. Alright, excited. Let's get to it.
A new order comes.
Alrighty, here we go. I am very much excited about this battle. The enemy forces arrayed before us are quite strong. Between the 3 armies, we are facing off against 5 mammoths, 9 skinwolf units, which are all anti-large, and should be somewhat decent against our, large units of Blood Knights. Plus they got 5 lords and heroes, a bunch of marauder champions, which are quite a bit better than the Graveguard in terms of their stats, though we do have Mortis engines to buff them up with Vigor Mortis, and of course plenty of Marauders and other things. So there's also a Cold Voider Frostworm Regiment of Renown in there, so yeah, we'll be facing off against quite the armies. I'm pretty excited, as this is going to be the real, I should say, debut for Aldous' army. Anyway, we're going to start off by trying to annoy some enemy horsemen who started to run away from Aldous landing upon them, only to run directly into our Blood Knights here. And then another unit of horsemen also gets caught by our Blood Knights. I'm not entirely sure how, considering that the AI's horses are technically faster than the Blood Knights are, but hey, I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth here. That's pretty great for us. And then once that first unit was forced to shatter, we are going to surround and kill the second unit Marauder Horsemasters, and hope to shatter it as well. Now, before we get to the rest of the battle, since the skirmish and the first blood is ours, just going to take a quick look at our setup here, and as we can see, didn't go with the standard setup that I usually do. Generally speaking, you know when I'm taking a battle more seriously by virtue of the type of setup I do. The more I bother with the setup, the more likely I find the enemy army to be threatening. And granted, by virtue of the enemy units we're facing off here, I do find them pretty threatening. Anyway, we have 2 units of Graveguard on the sides here with a Corpse cart there as well. Plus the units on the very sides, the anchoring points of the flanking points of the army are more in a square formation rather than in a drawn-out formation. The purpose of this is because these units tend to be the most vulnerable, though perhaps not necessary over on this side because we have a cliff. We've obviously taken the best location that we could for the defense here since they're attacking us, with the cliff to act as a pseudo-wall and the trees here to hopefully prevent the enemy from using their large units, or if they do use their large units, at least we'll have an advantage there. Then the center is backed off a little bit, where we have a couple of our units of Graveguard with great weapons, and our Graveguard hoping to draw some of the enemy in, wherein they will mostly be applying damage to our Graveguard with shields. I also want to protect the Graveguard with great weapons from enemy range fire, which is why these two are here, and then these two are waiting in reserve to either join the fray, to turn around and fight off anything that comes in from the back, or finally to go into the trees and fight what is there. Obviously the enemy army outnumbers us pretty considerably, at least two full stacks to our own, so we gotta make sure that we don't get completely surrounded here. Lots of enemies are coming. And then we have 4 units of Blood Knights in reserve as well. They will be very much needed to kill the enemy mammoths. While Aldous is moving out with his little task force here, 2 units of Blood Knights in him to try to catch any isolated units. They'll be starting off this battle. Well, I suppose they already did by killing a bunch of these Marauder Horsemen. And damn, are the Marauder Horsemen bigger than Blood Knights? I mean, I guess they're humans, but they're on Chaos God steroids to some degree. There's no reason that a Blood Knight, a vampire, should be any larger, because most likely they're made of normal human, not Norscan. Be nice to see some Norscan vampires, though. But anyway. Let's let them chase a little bit. In fact, let's speed this up a little bit while the rest of the enemy army arrives. Now, we could have moved here and tried to attack the enemy, but honestly, since there was only a couple minutes before the enemy arrived and they were attacking us, I preferred to take the superior position. On top of the fact that, considering that the Graveguard are extremely slow and the corpse carts even slower, it was extremely unlikely that we'd be able to get the enemy, in time. Anyway, it looks like we found an isolated unit, a single unit of enemy skinwolves here, which Aldous is going to drop down on, annoy, and summon some zombies immediately, though they are going to start doing damage to him fairly quick as he drops to a maybe 75%, a little bit more, maybe 80% HP in the first few seconds. Definitely got to be careful, can't underestimate the anti-large of those skinwolves, and they got 47 melee attack and 72 weapon strength after all, and more damage coming in, though we can of course continue to distract them with zombies. And there we go, keep summoning the zombies. The purpose of this of course is to get our Blood Knights in here, while Aldous keeps providing the distractions. Man, these guys are making absolute mincemeat of our zombies, but that's okay. Frenzied damage dealers should be doing that. Aldous a little bit more hurt, though he does still have the hunger to protect him, as well as a decent amount of armor, and our Blood Knights are moving in, though they are also being chased by additional units of Skinwolves. Fortunately, these guys were so distracted by the units that they were chasing in front of them that they got hit in the back for their trouble by another unit of Blood Knights. And there we go, and now it's time to surround and hopefully kill them, though even more, a 4th unit of Skinwolves is coming, and a Mammoth is here as well, now focusing on Aldous, who is only at half HP, though he does still have an Invocation of Nehek available to him, which he's going to pop now, and more zombies to come. On the bright side, it looks like the Skinwolves are now mostly engaged with the zombies, though this one is doing a fairly decent amount of damage to our Blood Knights. They've also dropped to about half HP, and we can heal more than they can. Over here, the rest of the enemy army is getting ready to assault this hill where the rest of our force is located, and it does seem that the Cold Voider, the enemy Frostworm, actually wants a piece of Aldous and our little, I don't know, anti-Skinwolf task force as well. First of the Skinwolves, however, looks to be out of the picture, though they did clearly bring down some Blood Knights. Good job to the AI for using proper-ish rock, paper, scissors tactics here. Alrighty, bringing down as many of them as we can before we get back into the fray. Aldous here, and now having gotten out of the press and healed himself a decent amount, is ready to move back in and continue killing skin wolves. And there we go. And now the rest of the Blood Knights, having chased the other ones off, are ready to move in and kill skin wolves. They're also getting an Overcast Invocation of the Heck to keep them healed, and this is the second unit of skin wolves that has been killed or otherwise forced to rout. For those keeping count, that is now 2 units of skin wolves and 2 units of Marauder Horsemasters, and hopefully plenty more stuff to kill, although that Frost Void, or Cold Voider rather, is on the way. Over on the side here, it looks like the enemy units are getting closer and closer. Some Marauder champions moving in the trees to try to attack our Graveguard, who are now suffering javelin hits from the enemy ranged units as well as some throwing axes. Fortunately, once again, they are attacking the shielded units, which is why we kept the Graveguard primarily away. Looks like some of the Marauder champions are going to move in here, where the Graveguard can apply some of their armor piercing to the highly armored champion unit, so that's going to be just fine. And we've also summoned a unit of zombies to stand ahead of our Graveguard here. One of our Graveguard are unfortunately getting quite badly beat up by the enemy sustained range fire. Quite surprising. They should also have a sorcerer. Yeah, there we go. The Shaman Sorcerer Fire as well, so we gotta be careful about getting damage here. Fortunately, the reserves are still all there, and we can allow the enemy to engage. Unfortunately, it looks like the enemy is using quite a heavy force to move around us. Yet another freaking Skin Wolf unit. I mean, there are 9 here after all. Plus 2 more Mammoths look to be trying to move around us and hit us in the back. Looks to be a pretty dangerous situation, and the balance of power is in the favor of the enemy. On the bright side, over here it looks like the third unit of Skin Wolves is at about half HP, and now we're going to try to surround the Mammoth, both with our Blood Knights as well as Aldous, though it looks like they're going to bring the Cold Voider down to try to help them out. Alrighty, that's a little bit more dangerous, but we are going to somewhat ignore this in favor of trying to kill the Mammoth first. Can't obviously spread our damage too much, and we gotta get some of these units either dead or off the field as fast as possible. And the Blood Knights continue to move in, and we're actually losing our zombie count very quickly here as the Skin Wolves are ripping them apart. What a lovely battle so far, and there we go. It looks like the other 2 Skin Wolves, one is routing and the other one is wavering and about to rout as well, and the Mammoth has routed, though one of our unit of Blood Knights is at half HP, and Aldous himself has reached his healing cap at half HP as well. It's getting pretty dangerous here, though they are making it work, and the battle is properly been joined over on the in the main part of the battle as well, I suppose. Marauder champions and Skin Wolves and Mammoths working together to start bringing down those Graveguard. I also got to point out that we have 2 Spirit Leeches available for this army, as both of our Necromancers were chosen specifically to get that Master of the Black Arts talent, which is quite lovely. We're also moving our Blood Knights in out of the reserve to try to help out with all of these Mammoths and bring them down as fast as possible to get the Graveguard with great weapons, as obviously they do a lot of splash, and we need to be careful. That is not all of our reinforcing units, however. We're keeping these 2 Blood Knights hidden and in the trees to wait until these guys move a little bit up, and then we can surround and hopefully destroy them. And there we go. Ooh, one of our units of Graveguard are unfortunately crumbling now and in pretty bad shape. We are, however, going to summon a unit of zombies, in fact we already have, in front of them to allow them to escape, and then move behind the battle line here to get some heals from the Necro and the presence of the Necro, as well as that corpse cart with Unholy Lodestone. There we go. Hold the line, Graveguard. It looks like the enemy is starting to move the center. Oh, if we could only have like 1 unit of Warp Fire Throwers, or Flamers of Tzeentch, or something. Dwarf Iron Drakes, anything, just to kill this blob. It would be just so great. But alas, we do not. Though we will be getting some Cathayan units soon, hopefully. Though, probably not in this army? I don't think so. We'll see. Let's see if there's anything that this army needs, though I kind of like it as it is. Anyway, there we go. The Blood Knights are now moving in and trying to surround those Mammoths. 3 of them working together in concert, which is pretty good as it prevents us from completely surrounding them, and they're applying a lot of splash and preventing our units from doing too much damage. More Spirit Leeches are, however, coming down. And then over on this side, we had our units move out of the trees and into the enemy units that were moving around. It, of course, allowed the enemy mammoths to move into the fray. We did manage to catch one that was very badly hurt, though. But these Blood Knights should take care of both the Marauder Champions and Marauder Spearmen pretty well, I think. Over on this side, Aldous and his task force are done. So, 4 units destroyed of Skinwolves, that's almost half of the enemy's Skinwolf complement, plus the Cold Voider, the Regiment of Renown, Frostworm Scent Packing, and then 1 unit of Mammoths. I don't know if it died or it survived, but ultimately, these guys did really great by themselves. And now they're ready to hit the enemy in the back and, you know, try to catch any ideally high-value targets as well. We've also basically managed to kill this Marauder Chieftain with our Spirit Leech spam, as one of the Spirit Leeches was hitting the enemy Lord while the other one was going for the Mammoths. Well done to the Necros, even if they are low level. Alrighty, and it looks like yet another Mammoth is broken, so we will give chase to it with our Marauders. We obviously don't want these guys coming back, so all of these Wavering units need to be chased, though we are now starting to run out of troops here. This lone Graveguard unit that was in the square is holding ground, and we need to keep summoning zombies to keep putting bodies between them, as in the enemy, and our Graveguard. Though the Blood Knights will keep running around and charging the enemy elites here. There we go. Another Mammoth caught. And should be destroyed by the Blood Knights. Looks like the biggest enemy concentration of troops is here around the trees, which does work fairly well for us, though interestingly the enemy primarily used infantry here, which is good work for them since they're not getting debuffed by the trees on their larger units like their mammoths. So yeah, I rarely give praise to AI, but good job AI. In the meantime, the enemy lord that was badly damaged and running away is now being chased by Aldous, who should be able to kill him off without too much trouble as he is much, much faster. The other 2 Blood Knight units that were with Aldous are also ready to move in and charge the enemy in the back and try to add a little bit of extra damage to the units that are currently surrounding the Graveguard. Damage dealers are finally here. Well, more damage dealers. We have 6 units of Blood Knights after all, but only 4 were fighting here, though they were busy with mammoths, not so much the enemy infantry. This is still pretty useful. Indeed, after that charge, it looks like the 1 unit is routing, another is wavering, and the 3rd one is probably, no doubt, far behind. Plus, the Blood Knights are now closer to the Mortis Engine, or not Mortis Engine, I wish Mortis Engine, to the Unholy Lodestone Corpse Cart, and thus able to get some benefits from them. Looks like the enemy has also moved its Sorcerer into the fray, though it's just using fireballs here and isn't that much of a concern. Oh, was it trying to hit our Sorcerer here? Or, Sorcerer, our Necromancer here? Perhaps it was. Alrighty, Graveguard's still holding. Perhaps not strong, but, well, actually, 75% HP isn't too bad in the trees. They've certainly been holding the line for quite a while. Most of the enemy mammoths are also now dead, and we are chasing off any ones that remain, and just like that, the enemy army decides to rout. They still had a fair few units remaining on the field, but it looks like the morale shock with the death of the enemy lord there by Aldous, or him getting off the field, I'm not sure, was just enough to push them over the edge combined with army losses. Shattered, yeah, army losses. Plenty of army losses there, but yeah, nice job to these guys holding in the trees. We can see that they've got lots of HP remaining on them, with the exception of the 2 Graveguard with great weapons, who got a little bit more hurt than the Graveguard with sword and shield, which is, then again, unsurprising. Here, our Graveguard got very, very badly beat up, down to about 20% HP, as they held off this entire blob and got so much splash on them from all of those mammoths. Anyway, I believe that's it. Now it's time for our Blood Knights to go to work. These guys are dishonoring themselves by running away from the Blood Knights, and I'm assuming that the Blood Knights don't like that very much, so they will now be killing them all. They just wanted a worthy foe. And to be fair, some of those Skinwolves did provide them, so I'm sure the Blood Knights are happy, but damn, what a battle. That was pretty great. I think that was one of my more favorite battles in this entire campaign so far, actually. By virtue of the fact that we actually had to work for the victory, and generally speaking, that's always the case. Just like with Bathilda's early victories when she was using just basic trash units against overwhelming odds. These are the ones that you gotta love. And now we're just going to move everybody into a blob to heal up a little bit, and we will of course reward this army by getting them mortis engines shortly. A heroic victory, probably unsurprisingly, as the auto-resolve thought that we would get destroyed by the enemy overwhelming odds, but alas for them, the Blood Knights stand strong. I'm actually curious to see how many levels we got out of this. I think at the end we only ended up losing one unit. I think it was that Graveguard with great weapons that tried to move away, but I think it continued to crumble regardless and died, unless I'm mistaken. Let's find out. Ah, what a glorious battle, a heroic victory for Aldous, and he proves himself. Damn. Oh, that was so damn fun. The Blood Knights, of course, doing massive amounts of damage. We got a lot of value out of Aldous and his little, you know, anti-Skinwolf task force there, wherein he was able to destroy a mammoth, I think it was 2 or 3 units of Skinwolves, some horsemen, as well as the enemy Frostworm, all essentially by themselves, where the rest of the army held the ground. We also got 21k damage on this particular Graveguard unit. Very, very nice. In fact, beating all of the Graveguard with Great Weapons units. One of the Great Weapons unfortunately fell, but it did rise again, and we also got a ton of XP for that. As we should. That was a massive fight against a theoretically superior foe, but man, imagine if we had had our mortis engines. It would have gone so much better. So much easier, I mean. Let's dominate those captives. We are still in enemy territory, and we will be suffering attrition still, which means if we don't heal up, the attrition will probably destroy that unit. And have Scryer moved, or is Zicket still sieging? Looks like he is indeed still sieging. Interesting. Well, unfortunately with that, while we do still have quite a few things to do there. Ah, look at all that XP. Everybody gets their corpse cards immediately. And we got the Vampiric Revivification, so we're at 25k up and running. But anyway, as I said, we are definitely out of time after that battle, so while there's a lot of stuff to do, we'll have to leave it till next time. Speaking of next time, we will destroy Ikit, move to Bilbali, so complete these provinces, and then probably try to move north afterwards. Looks like Bellicor might be destroying Moussillon, which may be a good thing if they end up being so weak that we're able to confederate them. We'll see. And then obviously we have to continue our war in the south here with both Peter and Bathilda going Skaven hunting, including maybe Peter will fight Queek next episode. And then of course Renki will probably have to deal with Grimgor at some point. Possibly next episode, possibly not. We'll see what exactly he does. The unfortunate aspect of this is that several territories here aren't walled up, so if he were to rush here and then jump a few times, he could get to more vulnerable provinces, which is why I am thinking that Renki is going to have to deal with Grimgor. But whether that's the case or not, we'll have to see next time, so stay tuned for more Izzy. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. Don't forget to vote if you're interested in the next few campaigns. All glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.